Welcome now, settle deeply into your resting space. Let the world outside fade away completely. This is your quiet time out. A time for drifting, a time for peace. Breathe slowly, gently, deeply. Inhale the stillness, exhale any tension, any worry we are. Preparing for a long, slow journey. A journey back through time. Itself, thousands of years dissolving behind us. The noise of the modern world disappears. Replaced by a profound and ancient silence. Feel your body grow heavier now, comfortably heavy. Anchored to the bed or the chair or the floor, your eyelids feel wonderfully heavy too. You do not need to keep them open. Let them close now softly, gently. The moment of transition is upon us. We are traveling to a place of sun-baked earth, a place where history began its slow march. To the land between the rivers, ancient Mesopotamia awaits. The cradle of civilization is ready to receive you. It is deep night there, a quiet, cool Sumerian night. Thousands of years ago, the city of, Uruk is wrapped entirely in darkness. The darkness is absolute and soft. The moon, the ancient god. Sin is high above, casting weak light, filtering through the fine dust in the atmosphere. Imagine the air now, it is dry and cool after the blistering heat of the day. The thick walls of the city have finally released their stored warmth. A gentle, refreshing coolness settles over the land. It smells faintly of river mud, of drying reeds, and wood smoke long extinguished, of the grain stores patiently. Waiting for morning, listen closely, but do not strain. The only sound is the vast emptiness of the sleeping desert, and the tiny distant whisper of the great river, the Euphrates or the Tigris, moving its heavy waters slowly, endlessly through the dark plains. This is a time of deepest rest for the Sumerian people, a momentary reprieve from the relentless grind, the demanding, tedious routines that define their lives. For now, there's only silence and shadow. We hover gently above the city walls. They are imposing and strong, built of endless repetitions of mud brick, baked hard by the fierce Mesopotamian sun. These walls protect the sleeping thousands from the vast, quiet dangers of the desolate plains outside. They are the boundary between order and chaos, between the structure of the city and the wild unknown. Look down upon the labyrinth of the city. It is a dense cluster of low square dwellings, all huddling together tightly for security and shared shade. The streets are narrow and winding. They're not paved or straight. They're just paths of packed, dusty earth. Dust that has borne the weight of millennia. The dust settles constantly, relentlessly, covering everything with a fine, ancient layer. The houses are simple, humble affairs, mud brick walls, perhaps 2 stories high in wealthier areas. Flat roofs where families often sleep in the heat, but tonight they are inside, huddled on reed mats on the cool earth floors, sleeping the deep, exhausted sleep of the laborer, the farmer, the weaver, the potter, the slave. Their sleep is earned through immense physical effort. Every day demands tedious, unceasing focus, but that is tomorrow's concern. Tonight is for rest only. Let your breathing deepen further, matching the slow rhythm of the ancient sleeping city. Imagine walking softly through these narrow, dark alleys. Your sandals make no sound on the dry earth. The walls are close on either side. They feel solid and ancient and comforting. There's no light here, save for the weak shimmer of sign. The moon god high above, no street lamps, no electric glow, only profound natural darkness. The darkness is safe and protective. We pass by the closed workshop of the smith. His tools are quiet now, the copper he hammers. Day after day rests in cold ingots. His muscles relax from the constant heavy work. We pass the house of the scribe. His clay tablets are stacked neatly on shelves, waiting for tomorrow's endless accounting. The meticulous records of barley production, the receipts for sesame oil, the tallies of labor hours, tedious work requiring immense concentration. Even the great ziggurat is silent, the massive step temple dominating the city skyline. It is a mountain of solid baked mud, a beacon for the gods, a stairway to heaven. High above on its summit, the shrine is dark. The high priest is sleeping quietly now, his sacred duties suspended until the first light of dawn. The ziggurat stands as a symbol of the city's permanence. It has stood for centuries. It will stand for centuries more, watching over the city, its people, its routines. Everything here is built for endurance, built to withstand the scorching heat, the sudden floods, the relentless pressure of time. The Sumerians knew that. Consistency was survival, routine was life itself. And The routines were often monotonous, slow, and repetitive. They demanded patience and stamina, but tonight there is no demand, only the soft demand of sleep. We move toward a specific house now. A modest dwelling near the inner wall. Its door is a simple woven mat, or heavy wooden slab, bolted shut. Inside the family sleeps. They have eaten their simple evening meal. Perhaps thin barley cakes, dried fish dates, and now they are recuperating their strength, ready for the return to the tedious cycle tomorrow. Think of the Sumerian farmer who sleeps inside this house. His name might be Lugal or Enlilbani. He's a man of the earth, a man of patience. His hands are calloused and heavy from countless hours spent weeding and sowing, and most importantly, managing the water. Water is the currency of this land. The management of the irrigation canals is the most critical, most defining task of Sumerian life. It is a task of endless inspection, and clearing the silt from the river constantly builds up, choking the vital channels that bring life to the fields. It must be shoveled, scraped, moved day after long day. A repetitive draining task. He knows that tomorrow he must rise early before the sun has begun to truly burn, and head out to the fields to look for breaches in the mud levees, to pull the weeds that steal moisture, to ensure the water flows precisely where it should. This constant vigilance is exhausting, but right now his breath is slow, and even he is completely relaxed, entirely at rest. The mud brick walls hold the cool air for him. Quiet darkness embraces him. The routine has paused. Let your own breath slow down now. Imagine you are resting right beside him, feeling the coolness of the earth beneath your own sleeping mat. There are no modern distractions here, no glowing screens, no distant traffic sounds. Only the deep, pure silence of the ancient Near East. It is a silence that swallows sound, a silence that allows for true, deep, restorative sleep. The silence of a sleeping civilization. The only movement is the slow drift of the stars. The constellations that guided the ancient navigators. The stars that told the Sumerian priests when to plant, when to harvest. The slow wheel of the heavens, turning, turning, turning. Predictable, eternal, reliable, just like the daily routine itself. Tomorrow morning, the city will awaken slowly. The first sound will be the bleating of the sheep or goats kept in small pens near the houses, then the muffled voices of the women beginning the slow process of grinding the grain. The mortar and pestle will begin their rhythmic thudding, a sound that will define the morning hours, the tedious, necessary sound of preparing the daily bread. But that awakening is still hours away. We are suspended in this quiet in-between time, the core of the Sumerian night. The time when the gods themselves are said to be resting. We take this opportunity to simply exist in the quiet, to appreciate the simplicity of the structure, the strength of the sun-dried earth walls, the sheer endurance required to build a civilization out of river mud. It is a powerful testament to routine, to the power of doing the same difficult thing. Day after decade, the foundations of this city are deep, built on patience and repetition. We let these heavy concepts anchor our own mind, anchoring us to a state of profound peace. There's nothing you need to do right now, nothing you need to plan, nothing you need to remember, just this moment of quiet timelessness. The ancient city sleeps. The dust settles ever so slowly. The river flows without hurry. Let your thoughts flow just as slowly, like the waters of the deep Euphrates. Moving gently toward the sea, unconcerned with speed or destination, only focused on the present moment of flow. Feel the softness of the air upon your skin. Imagine the weight of all those centuries above you, pressing down gently, lightly, encouraging you to sink deeper into relaxation, deeper into your resting space. The Sumerian night is a great blanket of peace, drawn over the entire world. You are entirely safe, entirely secure, protected by the solid mud brick walls of this ancient place. Let the rhythmic quiet of the sleeping city become the rhythm of your own heart. Rate slow, steady, peaceful. We will remain here suspended as deep night, observing the subtle changes as the hours pass, waiting for the first hint of pale light on the eastern horizon. But for now, there is only the darkness, the quiet, the complete absence of haste, the essence of tedious ancient time. We allow the sheer length of this history to lull us further into sleep. Imagine the slow preparation for the day ahead, the simple, tedious tools that will be used, the wooden plow, the sharpened flint sickle, the heavy clay pots for water, Every item requiring physical effort and time, no automation. No speed, only the steady, slow human labor, the patient bending. And lifting and counting, the constant struggle against the harshness of the environment. But that struggle is delayed until dawn. Now is the moment of recovery, the necessary pause that allows the tedious cycle to continue. We are grateful for this. Pause, we embrace this quiet space. This historical moment of deep sleep, there's nothing more soothing than the sleep of a world that is deeply tired. A world that works hard and rests hard. Breathe deeply. One more time, and let the weight of this ancient quiet carry you effortlessly toward slumber, drifting deeper, deeper still. The narrow streets are entirely silent now. The houses hold their secrets, the people hold their dreams. The ziggurat holds the sky, and you hold only peace. Sleep now, rest deeply. The long, slow routines of Mesopotamia wait patiently for the light. But until then, there's only darkness and rest and profound quiet, drifting further away into the history of sleep. Let the sounds of the past, the quiet sounds of the past, lull you now completely. The soft sound of the distant river, the fine dust settling slowly on the earthen floor, the slow movement of air through the high narrow windows, all these sounds are soft and comforting. They weave a gentle tapestry of quiet. A tapestry woven from thousands of years of peace, the quiet hum of existence. The deep hum of history. Sumer sleeps and you sleep too. Good night, rest now, rest well. The air grows cooler still. The deepest part of the night descends. The temperature drops to its lowest point. A final welcome relief before the sun returns. The mud brick walls are wonderfully cool to the touch. If you were standing there, you would feel that comforting. Solid coolness, drawing the heat away from the core, drawing away any lingering unrest. Only peace remains, only deep ancient quiet. The Sumerian people relied entirely on the natural world. Their rhythm was the sun, the moon, the river. No artificial light disrupted their deep rest. No artificial sound broke the vast silence. They slept in harmony with the environment. A profound organic sleep, and that same harmony wraps around you. Now embrace the absence of modern noise. Embrace the purity of this historical dark. We continue our slow, steady drift through the silent heart of the Sumerian city, past the silent gates and the slumbering guards, past the sleeping workshops and the resting looms, past the temple complex and the quiet market square. Everything waits for the signal of the sun. The moment the daily routine must resume. The arduous, necessary work of civilization building. But that is not now. Now is quiet. Now is rest. Let the silence seep into your bones. Let the history cradle your mind. You're traveling through time, and time here moves slowly, gently, without hurry, without pressure. Only the slow, relentless flow of the river, the slow, steady turning of the stars. All is well, all is peaceful, all is quiet. Deep sleep awaits. Drift deeper, still deeper and deeper into the ancient quiet. Let the mud brick walls hold you securely. Let the cool air refresh your soul. Let the profound darkness soothe your eyes. This sleep is well earned. This rest is complete. Breathe in the peace. Exhale the world. You are now entirely immersed in the peaceful silence of ancient Mesopotamia. Sleep now. Sleep well. The tedious routines of tomorrow are far away. Only the comfort of this quiet night remains. Only the comfort of deep rest. Good night. Good night. Rest now. Rest completely into the silence, into the dark, into the history of sleep. Drift further inward now into the quiet heart of the sleeping city. The moon is high, a pale shepherd watching over or Lagash. Matters not. The specific name, for all are built of the same silent substance, mud and reed and deep time. We walk on compacted earth ancient, paths trod by millions of sandals, worn smooth by the burden of countless routines. The dust here is fine and soft. The air is cool, a blessed contrast to the Mesopotamian heat that bakes the city during the unforgiving day. Feel the temperature drop slowly, the air settling around us like soft linen. We are walking through shadows, long sharp shadows, cast by the high silent walls, walls of baked mud brick stacked patiently millennia ago. They hold the sleep of the city. They hold the ghosts of Sumerian workers who labored so hard under that fierce sun. Now they rest deeply and completely. Their daily burdens put aside, the cuneiform tablets unwritten until dawn. The barley stored safely in the cool storerooms. The silent canals flow nearby. We hear only the very faintest trickle, the sound of water moving slowly, water that sustained this. Civilization water that brought life and worry. The worry of floods, the worry of drought. But tonight there is no worry, only the steady, slow movement of the river's influence pulling us deeper into rest. The geometry of the city is strange at night. The narrow streets twist and turn, designed to shelter the inhabitants from the sun's glare. Now they shelter us in a cradle of darkness and calm. Each turn brings a new wall, a new shadow, a subtle shift in the cool air's temperature. We pass the sleeping houses, small humble structures. They're built around tiny courtyards. The doors are thick wood or perhaps reeds woven tightly. They are closed against the night air and closed against disturbance. Inside are families, farmers, potters, scribes all lying on mats, perhaps sleeping the dense sleep of exhaustion. The sleep earned through heavy labor, profound and honest sleep, imagine. The rhythmic breathing inside those walls, the sound of quiet life continuing unaware of the passage. Of 5,000 years, the silence here is immense. It is not an empty silence. It is a silence filled with history. A heavy silence that presses gently on the ears, encouraging the mind to slow, to stop racing, to simply observe the gentle, dark we. Walk past an open space, now a marketplace. Perhaps it is utterly empty. The stalls are gone or covered over. The ground is flat and wide, and the moonlight pools here beautifully, washing the area in silver light, making the ancient dust shimmer faintly. During the day, this place was chaos, loud shouting, bargaining, the smell of spices and cooking oil, the noise of animals and children. But now it is purified by the moonlight. It is a sheet of tranquil emptiness. The daytime noise has been absorbed by the thick mud bricks, by the slow, patient earth, and stored away until morning. We stand here and feel the quiet weight, the weight of routine paused, the weight of labor suspended, the weight of deep sleep beginning to claim us. The walls surrounding this plaza are tall and reassuring. They stand watch, silent protectors of the sleeping city. They are made of earth returned to earth. They feel solid and true. We place a hand on the cool surface of a wall. It is rough, textured by the ancient clay. And the straw mixed within it, it feels slightly damp, drawing the heat out of our bodies, leaving behind a soothing coolness. This feeling spreads up the arm into the shoulder, down the spine. A profound, gentle chill of peace. We continue our slow, steady pace, no rush at all. There's nowhere to be, nothing to do but observe the quietness. The city streets are confusing, a labyrinth of clay and shadow, but we do not worry about direction. We are simply moving deeper downward into the layer of deep history where everything slows down, everything is covered in the slow settling dust that tells the story of generations. The dust of countless daily tasks, grinding grain, eating bread, firing clay. Now the dust is finally settling, no. Wind stirs it, no hurried feet lift it. It falls slowly, gently in the air around us, like a fine mist of time falling. We walk toward the center of the city where the great temple complex lies. The ziggurat, even in ruins its bases. Immense a mountain of stepped mud brick. A connection between earth and sky. Tonight it is dark, massive, silent. It absorbs the moonlight. It does not reflect it. It is a monument to devotion and organization, the organization that dictated the daily life of every Sumerian citizen. The routines were strict, the work was defined, the offerings were prepared, but tonight the priests are sleeping. The temple doors are closed, the ritual is postponed, there's only the silence of the god's house at last. Stillness rising above the sleeping city. We walk around the base of the ziggurat. The surface of the bricks is uneven, worn down by rain and time, but its scale is humbling. It reminds us of the endless nature of routine, the daily rising, the daily work, the daily return to rest. This cycle continued unbroken for thousands of years in this very spot, and now we interrupt its pause. We witness its deepest stillness. We feel the immense weight of that history pressing us gently towards sleep. The coolness here is enhanced. The massive structure acts like a sponge drawing in the night chill. The air is deeply refreshing, clean, and clear undertone. We continue our looping path back into the residential areas. We pass smaller buildings now. Perhaps the houses of minor officials or the workshops of specialized craftsmen. The potter's workshop is quiet, the wheel still covered in a linen cloth. The clay bowls stacked patiently, waiting for morning. Their smooth curved surfaces are dark. In the shadow, they represent the endless repetition of the potter's task. The endless turning of the wheel, the shaping, the firing, the stacking, a routine of slow creation. Now the routine is suspended, the creation is paused, the hands are shaped. The clay are resting, deeply, deeply resting. Their hands are tired, but their minds are quiet. They are dreaming perhaps of perfect, smooth vessels, or perhaps they are dreaming of nothing at all. Just the void of deep restorative sleep, we move away. From the workshop, the sound of our own slow footsteps is muffled by the soft earth. There's no need to make any noise, just a quiet, rhythmic pacing, a walk designed to soothe, to hypnotize the anxious mind. We're moving through layers of time, each step sinking us deeper into antiquity and simultaneously deeper into relaxation. The moon follows us, a distant, constant companion. It lit these same streets for King Hammurabi, for King Gilgamesh, for the unnamed farmer, and the unknown slave. It watched the start of the routines, and it watched the deep pause of the routines. It is the witness to all sleep, the perfect ancient witness. We come upon a small courtyard. It feels sheltered and safe. The walls around it are high, blocking out the slight breeze. The air inside this courtyard is heavy with the scent of old baked clay, and perhaps lingering smoke from a cooking fire long dead. We pause here and simply breathe in the stillness of ancient Mesopotamia. Breathe out the tension of the modern world. Slow breath and cool, clear, ancient air. Slow breath out, releasing the day's concerns. The rhythm of the breathing becomes the new rhythm of the walk, in and out, step and pause, slow and steady. We imagine the small reed mats laid out in this courtyard, where the family would sleep during the hot summer nights under the same immense sky. Their dreams were simple dreams of sufficient harvest, dreams of health, dreams dictated by the predictable structure of their tedious daily lives. But tonight their descendants are us, and our dream is simply to fall asleep, to find that same profound rest, that deep ancient quiet, the quiet of the sleeping world. We leave the courtyard, returning to the twisting alleys. The shadows now seem softer, less defined. The silver light of the moon begins to transition. As the first hint of late night deepens, everything is becoming softer. Everything is becoming darker. The contrast between light and shadow fades. It merges into a soothing uniform gray, a color of deep rest. We continue past rows of simple dwellings. We notice the detail of the construction, how perfectly they fit together like teeth in a jaw. A whole city designed for endurance, designed for labor, designed for sleep. The Sumerians understood the necessity of both. The energy expended during the day must be completely restored at night. The daily routine demands full rest to prepare for the tasks of tomorrow. Heavy tasks, the repetitive tasks, the tasks that define the civilized life. But tomorrow is not yet here. There's only this moment, this deep silent pause. This time of perfect rest, the walk becomes purely meditative. We no longer focus on the destination, only the sensation of moving slowly through time. The feet lift gently. The feet settle softly. The air is cool. The mind is quiet. We move past the area where the scribes worked. The schoolhouse is dark. The walls, thick and silent inside, are thousands of baked clay tablets waiting to be inscribed or read or copied. The scribal routine was precise and difficult. Memorization, repetition, discipline. Hours spent practicing the wedge strokes, the careful preparation of the clay, the intense focus required. To write tonight, the scribal hand is limp and relaxed, the eyes closed, resting from the strain of reading small symbols. The tired mind is unburdened by grammar, unburdened by numbers, just pure easy sleep. We move away from the noise of learning toward the absolute quiet of the outer city wall, the final barrier of the Sumerian city. A monumental defense, a symbol of separation between the civilized routine and the wild, unknown world outside. We walk along the inner edge of this great wall. It is even taller and thicker here than the house walls, a massive boundary of mud brick and stone. Its presence is reassuring. It cradles the sleeping city in safety. It holds the sleep in protecting it from disruption. The air near the wall is heavy, and still it smells of deep earth and mineral dust. We follow the wall's curve slowly. Our movement is almost imperceptible now. We are barely walking. We are drifting on the quiet tide of ancient sleep. Let the weight of the massive wall sink into your consciousness. Its age, its strength, its silence. It has stood for thousands of years, watching the tedious routines begin and end, watching the endless cycle of the Sumerian day, and now it watches over your sleep, a silent constant. Guardian, we are moving slower and slower. The pace of the walk is almost too slow to measure. The hypnotic flow of the words continues gently, gently leading us toward rest. We trace the line of the wall under the calming gaze of the ancient moon. The daily routine is fully dissolved. Now the farmer is asleep. The potter is asleep. The king is asleep. The whole city rests in a profound silence, a silence built upon repetition, a silence earned through labor, a silence that invites deep restoration. We are entering that restoration. Now we are becoming part of the silent city. The mud brick walls hold us close. The cool night air soothes us deeply. The ancient rhythm of rest takes over, slowing the heart, slowing the breathing, slowing the mind's final thoughts. We are safe here in the ruins of Sumer, safe in the deep, cool stillness. Drifting now, drifting and resting. Resting deeply, resting completely. The dust settles further, the moon shines softly. The silence is absolute. Sleep awaits, deep sleep, calm sleep, ancient sleep. Let us continue to drift slowly along the silent wall until the thought of waking fades completely and only rest remains. Only rest remains in the deep sleep of Mesopotamia. Sleep, now sleep, now sleep. Now the twilight deepens over the city of Ur. The last glow of the sun has faded behind the western desert. The walls of the city cool, slowly releasing the heat of the day. Dust settles downward, a fine layer of ancient silt. It returns to the sun. Baked earth of Mesopotamia, profound stillness begins to descend. The clamor of the copper smiths is silenced. Shouting of the donkey drivers has vanished. The laughter of the children is folded away until morning. There is only the soft hum of cooling clay and deep quiet. Look up now high above the tallest ziggurat. The vast darkness opens without limit. Is the night sky of the ancient world. A blackness unspoiled by electric light tipped. You can almost fall into thousands upon thousands. Of stars ignite each one, a tiny perfect pinprick of cold fire. The Sumerians saw this ceiling as the upper sea, dwelling place of Anu, the father of the gods. Place where the destinies are inscribed. We watch the slow, magnificent turning of the celestial sphere. The stars do not rush, they drift. They trace immense arcs of light across the black velvet there. Movement is the first clock. The deepest rhythm follow the river of light, the Milky Way. It stretches across the heavens like a path of scattered silver grain. This is the way of Anu, the highest path. It reminds us of the infinite space above our sleeping heads. Feel the immense silence of this great expanse. The distance is so great that sound cannot travel, only light, only the faint glow of ancient suns reaching us through the deep quiet. The air grows cool over the flat roofs. Gentle breeze drifts in from the Euphrates River. It carries the scent of fresh water and wet reeds, soothing clean breath across the sleeping city. The watchmen walk slowly along the massive brick walls. Their footsteps are soft and measured. They are guarding the deep sleep of thousands of souls. Their presence is a comfort, a silent promise of safety. Let the image of the strong high walls surround you. Now they are protective barriers against all noise, all worry. You are safe inside the ancient heart of Sumer, held by the weight of centuries of peace. Focus on the constellations the ancient shepherds knew well. They are the familiar shapes that brought order to the darkness. Find the bowl of heaven rising slow and powerful. The constellation we call Taurus. Its bright amber eye watches over the silent herds. Its movement is heavy, steady, unstoppable. It does not rush, it simply arrives drifting. Through the deep, dark hours of the Sumerian night, its steady light is a beacon of profound stillness. Look for the tiny shimmer of the Pleiades, known to the farmers as the furrow or the seven sisters, a cluster of stars, small and bright. They sink slowly toward the horizon, marking the deep passage of the hours. Their motion is so slow, so gradual. It teaches us patience. It encourages deep, unhurried rest. The whole sky is turning a massive, silent wheel above the baked clay. It turns so slowly you cannot perceive the motion, yet it is the ultimate movement, the clock of eternity. Let your own breathing fall into the stellar rhythm. Slow, deep lounfus, the movement of the stars through the heavens. Inhale the coolness of the deep night. Exhale the last vestiges of the bright hot day. The great ziggurat stands massive and dark, a silent mountain of briquettes. Shadow is a long black wedge cutting across the temple courtyard. High on its terraces, the priests watch there plotting the slow dance. Of the planets, the wandering stars that move against the fixed background, they seek omens in the perfect silence, but for us, the silence itself is the only message, a message of complete peace. The hours are folding over one another seamlessly. The time of the deepest sleep approaches, the moment when the noise of the day is most forgotten and the future morning is still entirely distant. We rest now in the middle of this vast ancient quiet. The weight of the darkness is pressing gently on the city. Is a heavy blanket of historical calm sealing the sounds of the world away. Imagine the feeling of sinking down deeper and deeper into the clay earth, finding a cool, dark resting place, unburdened by light or sound the ancient people of Sumer trusted. The night they knew that the rest of the dark hours was necessary to renew the strength for the tedious labor of the day, they allowed the darkness to reclaim them fully. Let the sound of the silent water of the river flow through your Minda steady. Silent current moving toward the great sea, unwavering, constant, peaceful, the constellations of Enlil. The wind god are dominant now, his path across the middle heaven is visible. His breath is the softest whisper of air moving the reed mats on the quiet roofs. We are entirely enveloped by this peace, protected by the thick, silent walls of Ur, watched by the slow-moving ancient sky. There's no rush here, there's only the immense, deliberate pace of celestial movement. The passage of time is measured by the slow sinking of the stars toward the western edge of the world. We are drifting now, floating in the vastness of the Sumerian night, connected to the stars that watched the very foundation of civilization. The stars are indifferent to the troubles of the day. They simply shine steady and constant. Allow your mind to focus entirely on their silent permanence. Stars do not change. They're the same now as they were 5,000 years ago. Their light is steady. Their presence is reliable. This reliability is the ultimate source of calma, fixed point in the changing world. The moon, perhaps a slender crescent or a heavy disk, rises over the eastern plain. It is the god Nana, the master of time sailing through the upper sea, casting a soft silver glaze over the sleeping city. The moonlight smooths the rough edges of the houses. It softens the sharp shadows of the day. Everything under its glow is tranquil and subdued, a world painted in shades of gray. And silver quiet, the coolness of the air seeps into the bones, dispelling the last remnants of fatigue. Deep, cool, cleansing feeling, the restoration of the night. Hear the quiet breathing of this sleeping Sumerian city, thousands of silent lives resting. Simultaneously a collective deep exhalation, the unified rhythm of an ancient people at peace. The dust is still entirely settled. The air is clean and clear. The stars are sharp-edged jewels in the dark. Fabric, each one placed perfectly in its appointed station. We are witnessing a moment of perfect cosmic balance. The balance between the hot day and the cool night, between the labor and the rest, between the earth and the heavens. Sink further into this balance. Feel the security of the fixed earth beneath. You feel the immense calm of the fixed stars above you. You are suspended in a perfect space of rest, the middle point of the longest night. Depth of the Sumerian stillness, the movement of the constellations continues its slow march. The sky is a perfectly functioning clock turning without friction, without sound, a masterpiece of deep eternal motion. Let all resistance melt away. Let all thought dissolve into the deep black quiet there. It is nothing to solve, nothing to worry about, only the immense comfort of the ancient darkness. We are waiting for the morning, but the morning is still hours away, are fully immersed in the long silent space between the days. Restorative power of the black sky. The scent of the clay brick is strong now, a dry earthen smell of permanence and history. It reminds us that we are anchored to this ancient spot, safe and secure in the deep past. The path of the wandering planets is barely visible. They move against the stars, but tonight even their motion seems slow and deliberate. The red glow of Mars, perhaps the distant Jupiter, they too are witnesses to this deep rest. They are the slow, silent travelers of the night mirroring our own slow, silent journey into sleep. Let your eyes close gently now. The images of the stars remain behind your lids, tiny sparks of light in the inner darkness, guiding you further down into the calm. The ziggurat stands tall. The river flows slow. The walls hold firm. The stars turn constant. This is the ultimate peace of the ancient World A, quiet so deep it feels like an absence of time, just resting under the silent watch of yours high gods. The silence is your anchor, the darkness is your blanket, the slow turning of the stars is your lullaby. Is steady, is unwavering, it is eternal drift, now deeper and deeper into the ancient Mesopotamian sleep. The city sleeps soundly around you, a profound collective silence. The coolness wraps around you, entirely dispelling the last vestiges of the day's warmth and noise. Cool stillness, the ancient names of the constellations whisper softly. The plow, the shepherd, the lion, they are watching silently from the upper realms. They observe the absolute quiet of the world below. They maintain their perfect pattern, their slow, deliberate eternal rhythm sleep, now under the shadow of the mighty ziggurat rest. Deeply within the protection of the massive walls float. Peacefully upon the soft current of the night air, the stars are your steady guides, the silence is your companion. The history of Sumer cradles you gently in its deep, unending calm. Rest now, rest completely under the ancient stars, under the profound Mesopotamian night, deep, deep sleep. The peace is absolute, the silence is entire sleep. Now deeply now, the stars are turning. City is quiet, trust. Fully rest deeply under the watchful, silent sky. The quiet settles deep now. The heat has finally surrendered to the long shadow of the ziggurat. The ancient city exhales slowly, a breath of cool clay and dried river reeds you rest. Now, high upon the flat roof, the standard place to escape the oppressive summer day above the narrow streets of Ur, above the thick mud brick walls. The day-long heat stored in the earth now begins its gentle release, a slow, steady warmth rising. Up into the vast, cool darkness above, listen closely now to the sounds of Sumerian night. The sounds are fewer than the day. The clamor of the market is long gone. The grinding of the grain mills ceased. The shouts of the brick carriers ended only. The subtle sounds remain, the faint rustle of matting as your neighbor shifts position, the dry whisper of the wind moving over the rooftops. A breeze arrives, a true breeze, not the baking hot wind of noon that moves down from the mountains, perhaps. Across the wide, flat marshlands, it brings the scent of the river, the sweet, earthy smell of the Euphrates mud, and the salty tang of the distant sea. The city gates are barred and bolted. The great wooden doors are thick and heavy. They hold the sleeping. Life within, they keep the darkness outside the walls, but the breeze passes easily. It moves through the sleeping neighborhoods, sliding over the cool, smooth brick. It touches your face softly, a gentle touch of the millennia past. The rhythm of the night is slow, hypnotic repetition of subtle noises. A dog barks once far away, a lonely sound echoing off the high temple walls. Then silence returns, deep, perfect silence. You lie upon your woven reed mat. The rough texture beneath you is comforting. It separates you from the warm, flat clay. You feel the coolness pressing down the vastness of the Mesopotamian sky above. Sumerian astronomers watched this sky every night. They named the stars that you now gaze upon. They charted the paths of the wandering planets. They saw gods and fates written in the slow-moving lights. Close your eyes now and feel the breeze move. It cools the sweat upon your brow. It lifts a stray strand of hair. It moves gently across the exposed skin of your arms. Breathe. And deeply, the air is clean and dry and cool. The scent of dust is replaced by the scent of quiet water. Imagine the canals running full tonight, slowing their current, their waters dark and silent, moving endlessly toward the distant Persian Gulf. The water flows, the time passes, the city rests, your heavy eyelids grow tired. The day was long and filled with tasks. The endless labor of survival in the fertile crescent, the scraping of the hoe in the sticky field, the lifting of the water bucket. From the deep well, the pounding of the barley for the daily bread, those tedious duties are suspended now. The sleep debt of the body is calling you home back to the deep, restful darkness. The ziggurat shadow stretches immense and long and silent. Watchful guardian over the sleeping people, its huge stepped form is barely visible, a massive dark shape against a slightly lighter sky. It is a connection to the heavens, the home of the powerful gods, but tonight the gods are silent too. They are resting in their high sanctuary, leaving the human world to its soft slumber. The stars are sharp points of light, uncountable and beautiful. They seem closer here at the ancient world. Without the interference of modern light, you can see the breadth of the Milky Way, a soft smear of countless distant suns. Feel the gentle pressure of the breeze again. It moves like a steady pulse. Breeze in, breeze out, silence and sleep out, your muscles loosen completely. The tension held from the long day dissipates. Feel the weight of your body settling into the mat. The mat is a cradle. The roof is your sanctuary. The night is your quiet haven. There's nothing left to do. No tablet needs to be written. No jar needs to be sealed. No grain needs to be counted, only the simple duty of resting. Let your mind drift as the air drifts, a slow, slow movement across the ancient landscape. Imagine the vast flatness surrounding the city walls. The empty fields waiting for the morning light. The sleepy flocks of sheep huddled together, their shepherd resting nearby, dreaming of grass. The Sumerian night is peaceful. It holds a profound stillness. A stillness earned by the intensity of the day. The city is a hive of activity when the sun rises, but now it is a silent tomb full of the promise of rebirth in the morning. Let your breathing deepen, slow, steady, rhythmic breathing. Inhale the coolness. Exhale the last vestiges of wakefulness. Focus on the sound of the air, the way it moves over the clay roof tiles, the very faint sigh it makes as it passes over the edges. It is a sound of peace, a constant murmuring presence. Like the very slow flow of time itself, the astronomers, they studied the sky. They knew the deep connections between the stars and the seasons, between the moon's phases and the river floods. They understood the predictable cycles of existence, and tonight is a cycle of rest, a necessary pause in the great mechanism of life. Do not fight the sleep. Welcome the soft pull of the darkness. Allow the quiet security of the walls to hold you. The heavy mud brick walls are thick. They mute the sound. They hold the cool air inside. They protect the heart of the home. You are safe within this ancient structure. The breeze becomes a lullaby, a repetitive soft whisper against your ears, a shushing sound from a deep forgotten memory. The city sleeps soundly below you. The merchant, the scribe, the potter, the priest, all surrender to the deep Sumerian night. Their dreams are woven with barley harvests and the smooth writing of Cuneiform on damp clay and the careful tending of the flock. Simple ancient concerns that define their waking world. The vast quiet sky continues its slow turn. The constellation of the plow perhaps is moving west. Soon the eastern horizon will lighten imperceptibly. But that time is far away. You have hours yet of uninterrupted rest. The heavy stillness is a comfort. It is the absence of pressure, the absence of demand. You simply exist in this moment. A creature of ancient earth and ancient starlight. Feel the slight vibration of the city. The deep underlying hum of a community sleeping. It is not a sound but a sensation, a grounding feeling of belonging. To this strong-rooted place of the first civilization, the gentle wind caresses your cheeks again. It carries the memory of the past millennia. It has blown over these fields for thousands of years. It is the same air that touched the first kings of Kish, the first builders of the temples of Uruk. You are connected to that long history through this simple act of lying still and breathing. Let your thoughts slow down. Let them dissolve into the vast, quiet air. There is no need for complex thinking. Only the soft contemplation of the deep, dark peace. The coolness is refreshing now, a profound relief from the harsh sun. It enters your body with every deep, slow breath, calming the beating of your heart, slowing the current of your blood. You are slowing down, slowing toward the threshold of sleep, imagine. The slow movements of the water buffalo moving through the deep mud of the riverbank. Their pace is measured and deliberate. Your mind adopts that slow pace, unrushed, unfearful, deeply secure. The breeze passes, it returns, it passes again, a constant, reliable presence, like the turning of the earth, like the slow change of the seasons, a rhythm you can trust. Let the sound of the wind be your focus. Do not analyze it. Do not follow its source. Simply let it wash over you, a soft-flowing river of air, cleansing and calming. The scent of dust is gone. The scent of tired labor is washed away. Only the neutral, clean smell of cool night remains. You are suspended between the high stars and the deep earth lying on the surface of the first great city. A truly ancient cradle of humanity. Everything is quiet. Everything is secure. The world waits patiently for the morning, but the morning is far away, distant, and unimportant now. The only important thing is this moment of rest, this profound, deep peace. Let your eyelids grow heavy, heavy as the clay bricks beneath you. Heavy as the gate of the city walls. They close gently, slowly, softly, shutting out the last sliver of the starlight you feel. The slight warmth of the clay matting beneath you, a gentle reminder of the day that passed, and the deep, cool air above you. A gentle promise of the night that holds you. Breathe slow, rest deep. Let the ancient sleep take hold. The Sumerian night is quiet. The wind whispers softly across the roof. Sleep now, sleep deep. The tedious routines of the day are gone. Only the soft peace of Mesopotamia remains. Drift down into the silence, into the deep, ancient dark. Sleep now, sleep very deeply now. The gentle breeze carries you away. Sleep, sleep, sleep peacefully, sleep soundly in the heart of your under the ancient silent stars. Sleep, sleep now. We walk now gently away from the city wall. The noise of the street fades as soft dust settles. On your eyelashes, the warmth of the sun is less fierce. Here, we are approaching the great precinct, the sacred enclosure of the moon god Nana. The stones beneath your sandals are worn smooth by generations of quiet devotion. They whisper no stories, just a steady coolness. The ground shifts subtly from packed dirt to carefully laid flat stones. The air changes taste. Feels cleaner, slightly cooler. The outer walls of the temple complex are vast, curved gently inward like a steady embrace. The baked mud. Brick is thick and pale. It holds the heat of the day, but sheds the glare. You feel the change in the atmosphere. Profound stillness descends a deep quiet. This is the domain of routine and rest. The pace slows down for us now. Naturally, we step across the threshold. The ground here is perfectly swept. The path is carefully maintained gravel. Little stones shift subtly underfoot, sound like soft whispering sand. Look up slightly at the geometry of the walls, the recessed panels, the deliberate shadows, ancient. Builders knew how to manage the light. They captured the coolness within the massive brick. This massive structure promises patience, demands nothing but your quiet presence. Your breathing slows to match the rhythm, the slow, steady turning of the temple clock. We are drawn toward a smaller gate, a doorway leading away from the great ziggurat base into the enclosed space of the temple garden, the Gish Libir, or sacred grove. A profound relief washes over you immediately. The scent of dry earth mixes with fresh water. A deliberate canal runs along the wall edge, bringing life from the distant Euphrates River. Listen closely to the sound of the water. A gentle, steady murmur, a constant trickle. It moves slowly through the clay channels. Sound of endless, soft repetition. The water laps softly against the baked banks. It flows and keeps flowing, a soft metallic whisper in a vast silence. Sound designed for utter relaxation. Tall bay palms stand like silent sentinel. Their fronds rustle high. Above your head, a dry, airy sound like old parchment turning. It is a sound designed for deep, undisturbed sleep. The shade they cast is fragmented and cool patches of deep shadow, patches of soft light. They shift slowly as the sun moves above you. I say peaceful dance of light and darkness. Beneath the palms, the ground is soft earth, not dusty street, but cool, rich soil. The temple gardeners work with infinite care. They tend to the delicate balance of life here. You can smell the rich decay of palm debris. Sweet aroma of ripening dates, faintly carried on the slight movement of airy fragrance of timeless, restful cultivation. Imagine leaning back against a cool stone bench, the smoothness of the diorite against your spine, a gentle support, a steady quiet. Firmness. We are safe here within these protecting walls. The intense heat of the Sumerian day is excluded only. The sound of distant buzzing insects remains low, constant hum, a deep vibrational tone. Perfect white noise of the ancient world. Done here is slow and deeply rhythmic. Gardener kneeling carefully, quietly weeding, pulling tiny sprouts from the thirsty earth. His movements are economical and immensely quiet. He pauses often to watch the steady water flow, checking the level, checking the distribution, ensuring that every precious drop reaches its root. Is a meditation on patient maintenance. This garden is a quiet microcosm of the fertile crescente, promise of steady bounty in the harsh landscape. Speaks softly of the enduring gifts of the gods, the lasting patience of the dedicated farmers. We breathe deeply into this tranquility. Inhale the ancient stillness of Sumer's. Hail all the hurried thoughts of the outside world. Let them dissolve into the dusty, hot air. The shadows lengthen now across the paved path. They stretch out like welcoming, gentle arms, inviting you deeper into the quiet rest. The great walls of the temple complex absorb all sound. They silence the bustling markets and the distant chatter. Held within a cocoon of ancient thick brick, a fortress of historical soothing peace. Let the silence envelop you completely. Let the shade soften your vision entirely. Let the coolness permeate your skin slowly. Let the rhythm of the water lull your mind gently. Trickle, trickle, flow, and stop. Trickle, trickle, flow, and pause. The sound of water is the constant sound of time passing slowly. Surely, gently, always moving, you feel the immense quiet age of this city. The thousands of years held in these stones, but do not press down on you heavily. They hold you up steadily, reliably, constantly. This chapter is about the great quiet spaces. The moments of necessary sweet reprieve when the daily routine demands a pause, when the soul seeks the cooling sweet shade. We remain still. We watch the subtle movements, a slight involuntary shudder of a palm frond, lazy measured flight of a dark-winged insect, gradual settling of the afternoon light softly. The air is thick with the soothing scent of civilization, mud brick and imported cedar wood dust and irrigated cool soil. Heavy sweet smell of ancient quietude. Your eyelids feel heavy now, very heavy. The light is growing dimmer slowly. Shade is growing deeper profoundly. There's nothing left to observe but perfect peace. Listen only to the trickle trickle, feel only the cool, smooth stone. Know only the steady, gentle rhythm. Rhythm of deep Sumerian sleep. The day is winding down around the sacred precinct. The outer temple doors are closing softly, not with a loud clang, but a gentle, quiet thud. Sound is muffled by the thick mud walls. You are safe in the inner quiet space, protected by the ritual and the routine. The meticulous daily work ensures your rest, the steady constant care of the caretakers. We drift further down the winding garden path, moving toward the quieter, less frequently maintained areas where wilder grasses grow near the outer fence line, and the irrigation channels are mossier and cooler. The shadows here are almost entirely black. The air is humid and deeply comforting, a perfect place for deep, gentle relaxation, a perfect space for letting go completely. Allow your thoughts to become scattered and light-like. The dry, brittle leaves under the date palm, they are light and loose and ultimately meaningless. They drift away on the gentle, soft breeze. You are sinking deeper into the soft silence. The soundscape is minimal and utterly constant, a perfect lullaby of the ancient world. The distant lowing of a tethered ox, a sound that implies safety and comforting routine, a sound that promises tomorrow's necessary work. But tonight, there's only absolute rest tonight. There's only the quiet, soothing garden. You feel the peaceful weight of long history lying softly across your shoulders, entirely a historical weighted blanket of time. Heavy and warm and immensely secure, the Sumerians knew the importance of quiet. They built these sanctuaries deliberately, intentionally, to counter the dust and the heat and the clamor, to allow the mind to settle and restore itself. Rest now and there. Ancient wisdom entirely embraced the tedium, the repetition, the gentle, reliable, predictable routine. It leads us directly to the calm shore of sleep. The stone is cool. Now the water flows steadily. The shadow deepens profoundly. The history whispers softly. A gentle, steady, quiet whisper, a story told in soft light and shadow. A tale of routine and restorative rest. A journey toward deep, quiet slumber. We close our eyes softly now, easily. The memory of the ziggurat looms high above a silent, monumental guardian against the night sky, but we remain here below in the cool garden, breathing slowly, deeply, evenly, matching the flow of the water, matching the gentle shifting of the sand, entering the long quiet of the Sumerian night. Let the rhythm take hold entirely. Ancient steady flow, the constant quiet care, the promise of sleep fulfilled perfectly. The darkness is soft and velvety and deep. It settles over the city of Ur completely. It settles over the temple garden wholly. It settles over you completely, gently. There's only the sound of breathing now, your own breathing, slow and beautifully even, and the endless subtle flow of the garden water flowing toward the sea. Sleep now, sleep deeply and well in the cool Sumerian garden under the silent watch of the tall date palms protected by the thick ancient mud walls. Your journey through the daily routine is complete. Heat is gone. The work is finished entirely. Only tranquility remains now. Peaceful, deep, profound, complete rest. The sun is melted. Far away now, the long Sumerian day is finally done. We turn our heavy minds toward rest, toward the cool shadow of the coming night, the ancient city of. You breathe softly, a quiet, slow, heavy rhythm of rest. We have finished the endless duties, the counting. The shaping, the carrying, the tedious weight of Sumerian life is lifted just for these few dark hours, but before the sleep takes hold completely. Listen softly to the old stories, the myths that explain the mundane task, the stories whispered in the cool bricked alleyways, stories of why we toil so hard, why the clay must always be shaped, why the water must always be hauled, why the wheat must always be counted. Reason for the weary daily routine, the gods themselves once labored, long, long ago, when the world was young before the deep flood, before the first city. The great and sky father grew weary, tired of the weight of the endless heavens. When God, Enlil, tired of digging canals, the maintenance of the primal earth was too much, even for the highest deities. They found the endless work too heavy for them. They found the deep silence too much, so they called the great assembly together, a silent meeting of cosmic beings sitting on thrones of lapis lazuli in the highest reaches of the highest heaven. They gathered to discuss their fatigue, the tiredness of eternal creation. They decided they needed help. They needed servants of clay and spirit to bear the yoke of the mundane daily tasks to free the gods for higher celestial planning. The wise god Enki suggested a solution. He spoke softly of the deep earth, the moist, dark, red earth of the river valley. Let us mix the deep red clay. Let use mix it with the blood of a lesser deity, a sacrifice to bring forth life. Let us breathe spirit into the mixture. Fashion creatures, strong and obedient creatures, designed solely for endless labor. Ninnersag. The mother goddess accepted the task. She knelt by the flowing river bank. She began to knead the earth. The moist, heavy earth, just so like a baker working dough. For the ziggurat priests, she shaped the first servant carefully. The first sleepy human soul emerged, formed to haul the water, formed to till the sleepy field, formed to count the barley grain born, to maintain the endless order born specifically for the tedious routine, to take the back-breaking effort from the gods, to shoulder the endless burden of maintenance. This is why we rise with the dusty dawn. This is why our hands grow thick and calloused. We are fulfilling the ancient cosmic contract, the silent promise made in the deep past to keep the world spinning smoothly, to keep the temples clean and quiet, to keep the canals free of silt and mud. So when the baker raises before the first light to pound the flour for the daily bread, he is serving the gods. Directly, he is relieving Enlil of the effort. His rhythmic pounding is a prayer. His quiet mixing is an act of creation. He is fulfilling his specific destiny, the destiny decided long ago by the silent gods in the high assembly. When the potter turns the wheel spinning the muddy clay into useful shape, he is mimicking the primal moment when Ninhursag shaped the first human form. The circular motion, the smooth, slow, turning the repetition of the daily task is a cosmic echo, a ritual of service. Each jar is a tiny piece of order, a small victory over the wild chaotic forces. When the scribe dips his reed stylus in the water potto, moisten the clay tablet for inscription. He is recording the order of the universe. He is ensuring that chaos does not return. Small quiet list of jars. His meticulous numbering of sheep mirrors the grand lists kept in the high heavens where the tablets of destiny reside. The record of everything that will be the schedule of every Sumerian breath. Imagine those sacred tablets, now lying silently within the celestial palace, sometimes held by the powerful god Enlil, sometimes guarded by fearsome mythical creatures. These tablets hold the fate of every brick, the destiny of every Sumerian soul. They dictate the flow of the Euphrates River. They ordain the harvest season timing, the precise moment of the deepest sleep, the sleepy weight of responsibility carried. In the invisible lines of fate, we follow the path etched long ago in the soft, wet clay of creation itself. We live out the history of the gods. We enact the myth every single day. Our tiredness is the tiredness of the first creators. Our quiet work is the answer to their place. Tireless effort of the human soul keeps the stars in their proper place, keeps the fields yielding. Their bounty keeps the sleepy city safe from the forces of disorder. Think too of the structure of the ziggurat. Great step tower of baked brick rising up toward the heavens slowly. Each brick was shaped by human hands. Each layer represents a Quiet climb a slow ascent toward the divine realm. We build these houses for the gods to make their journeys easier, to give them a restful home when they visit us. Tedious climb up the many silent steps is an offering of exhaustion and devotion. The temple workers move softly now as the deep night covers the city of Ur. They polish the silver statues of the deities. They prepare the sweet oils for the evening rites. They lay out the perfect offering bowls. This maintenance, this deep, quiet cleaning is the core of our agreement with the gods. We work tirelessly so they may rest peacefully. We perform the tedious task of living so the cosmos does not collapse into mud. It is a simple contract, really, labor for life, quiet effort for existence, a continuous, unending service. And when the fields grow dry and silent, when the sun beats down relentlessly, we remember the gentle story of Dumuzi, the shepherd god who loved the queen Inannath, fierce goddess of love and warfare, the goddess of the morning star. And deep passion, Inanna descended to the underworld, to the dark, sleepy realm of her sister Ereshkigal. When Inanna returned, she needed a substitute, someone to take her place in the quiet darkness. Was chosen the beloved shepherd. He was dragged down below the earth into the realm of the sleeping dead. When Dumuzi was taken down below, the earth mourned the shepherd's absence. Crops withered, the canals dried, the river slowed to a trickle of sorrow. Everything became quiet and still. A deep historical slumber fell upon the land. It was the sleep of winter, the sleep of death. The fields rested because the shepherd was gone. But Inanna bargained for his return half a year below, half a year above, rest and waking, a pattern of sleep and green regrowth. This myth explains the quiet sleep of winter. Necessary pause before the new work begins. We are all waiting for Dumuzi to wake up again. We are all waiting for the soil to rise and flourish. The cycle of life, labor, and sleep repeats just as the river flows and returns. Our own nightly rest mimics this cycle. Descend into our own dark underworld, the deep quiet sleep where the spirit wanders. We recharge our clay bodies, slowly preparing them for the inevitable waking, preparing them for the next day's endless task, the next day of shaping brick, the next day of counting barley, the next day of endless irrigation. The fatigue we feel is sacred fatigue. It connects us to the history of the gods. It proves we are fulfilling the destiny etched on those ancient celestial tablets. We are the instruments of cosmic order, small mortal executors of divine will. Builders, the farmers, the quiet accountants, the silent upholders of Sumerian structure. The dusty air settles, now completely. Sounds of the city are muffled and soft. Only the occasional bark of a sleepy dog or the soft breathing of the resting guard disturbs. The deep quiet of the night, we lie here on our mats of reeds, our tired muscles slowly relaxing. The weight of the clay is leaving our arms. The dryness of the sun leaves our skin. We surrender to the deep, inevitable rest. The clay of our bodies is tired now, longs for the deep, soft earth. The stars above you are slowly moving, just as they were ordered to move by the words inscribed on the ancient tablet. The pattern repeats itself endlessly. Are the workers, the quiet caretakers, sleeping now so we can wake and serve? The long history of Sumerian laborers, tucked away safely in the darkness, the tired feet of the brick maker rest. Cowing hand of the scribe is still. The mythical reasons for the tedious work lull us slowly into the deepest sleep. The duty is performed for now. The commitment is fulfilled. The commitment is fulfilled for this day. Sleep is the small death that brings rebirth. Sleep is the necessary pause and the contract between. The gods in the gusty land rest deeply now under the light of the moon. Rest quietly under the ancient starry sky. The destiny of the city is safe tonight, held securely in the soft, dark silence. Tomorrow, the work begins again. The tedious task will await your waking, but for now, surrender to the heavy darkness. Drift softly down, down, down into the silent mythic sleep of ancient Mesopotamia. The sun has fully dropped now below the dusty horizon. Great warmth of the Sumerian day is leaving. It flows out like water through the city gates. Different air comes in, a much cooler air. It washes over the mud brick walls, smoothing away the sharp edges of the day. The heavy darkness settles over a comforting blanket of night shadows. The stars above begin their slow procession, vast and silent above the twin rivers. The Tigris whispers softly downriver. The Euphrates murmurs its own steady secrets. The cool breath of the desert night creeps into the narrow alleys, where The noise of the daytime vendors is finally fully extinguished. The shouts of the water carriers are gone. The insistent rhythm of the milling stone has ceased. Silence, deep true silence begins to govern. Listen closely now to the sound of Sumer at night. It is not truly silent, of course. Deep sleep rarely is truly silent, but the sounds are long and slow. The distant dog bark is heavy, it travels far. Across the silent flat roofs, a low sound fading slowly into the cool air. An owl perhaps hunting near the grain silos, a soft fluttering noise quickly gone. The rustle of reeds in a nearby courtyard moved by the faint night breeze. These sounds are small. They are delicate, they do not demand attention. They simply exist within the deepening quiet. The shadows lengthen, they stretch high across the courtyard floors. They dance subtly when the moon appears, thin sliver of silver light reflecting off the smooth polished clay jars, standing waiting for the morning routine. Imagine the feel of the air, now cool against your skin, a refreshing change from the burning sun. The dry heat is gone, for a time replaced by this gentle cooling sensation. Let that cool air settle you down. Let it draw the heat from your bones. The walls of your home are thick and strong, built of packed mud and straw. They hold the memory of the day's warmth, but they yield now to the quiet invasion of night. They become cool anchor points, steady solid protections in the darkness. The ziggurat stands tall tonight, a silent mountain of baked clay. It watches over the sleeping citizens. Its massive steps disappear into the dark sky. It is the heart of the resting heart. It holds the city safe until morning light returns, a silent sentinel of ancient faith. You can feel its presence even through the thick walls. Towering structure of peace and constancy. It does not move, it does not waver. It simply remains under the ancient stars, offering stability to all who sleep beneath its shadow. The star watcher on the highest terrace perhaps still makes his final notes, his tablet glowing faintly in the moonlight, tracking the slow, predictable movements of celestial bodies, routine even in the vast expanse of the cosmos. Predictable rest, comforting order inside the humble Sumerian home. The family prepares their simple beds. They lay their reed mats upon the hard, cool floor. Heat of the cooking fire is long gone now. Only residual warmth remains in the hearthstones. The movement is slow and deliberate, now a quiet folding of cloth, a gentle sigh of tired relief. The oil lamps have been extinguished one by one, the small clay wicks drowned in the oil, leaving behind only the soft ambient light that seeps in through the open doorway or the small high window aperture. The light is soft, it is blurry. It makes the corners of the room indistinct. You settle down onto your mat, the texture of the woven reeds. Familiar, slightly rough surface, it molds slowly to the shape of your body. It accepts your weight easily. You are supported fully by the earth beneath. There's no need for worry now. The work is done, the accounts are settled. The barley has been stored, the water has been fetched. The loom is still there. Tools are put away, the rhythm of the day has stopped its pulsing. Now is the time for stillness. Feel the coolness rising from the floor up into your feet and your legs, a sensation of quiet release. The muscles that carried you all day walking the dusty roads, carrying the heavy baskets, tending the fields or the workshop there, thanking you for this rest. Let your arms fall loose now by your sides or gently across your chest. The effort of lifting and grinding is over, the tedious movement of plow. Handle the endless repetition of the potter's wheel. Those small daily actions, they rest now in the cool, dark air. Your breathing slows, matching the pace of the city at rest. Deep, slow breaths pulling the cool, clean night air and releasing the stale air of the long day. Inhale the silence, exhale all tension. Feel the weight of the darkness, not heavy, but encompassing, a velvety, thick quiet. It wraps around the city, sealing it into slumber and necessary pause before the dawn's demand. The dreams of Sumer begin to rise, soft, slow images drifting through the cool rooms. Perhaps a vision of the great river flowing wide and steady. Perhaps a meeting with the gods in the great temple, or simply the peaceful image of a full harvest. Dreams are safe here. In the mud brick walls, think of the simplicity of this existence, the clear defined boundaries, work and rest, light and dark, the tedious routines of life necessitating this absolute peaceful stillness. The deeper the routine, the deeper the resulting sleep. We move through the narrow paths of Uruk, now the largest of the cities. Even here, the great population is hushed, the thousands of inhabitants lying. Still in their simple houses, a great wave of collective human rest, the noise of the palace scribes has banished no more the scratching sound of the stylus against the wet clay tablets recording the details of the day's exchange listing. The rations, the expenditures, the debts, the long columns of numbers wait in the dark. The stylus rests, the clay hardens. Bureaucracy of Mesopotamia sleep, the tireless accounting pauses. The complexity of their written world becomes mute and still for the night hours you do not need to count or measure now. Let the numbers drift away from your mind, let the intricate patterns of the cuneiform signs dissolve into the darkness. Your thoughts become simple, slow shapes like the heavy shadows cast by the moon moving imperceptibly across the floor. Imagine the smell of the cool desert air, dry earth, and the lingering scent of smoke. Faint, distant aroma of the river water carrying the smell of fertile marsh reeds. It is an ancient smell, a clean smell, the scent of the first civilization sleeping deeply. You are safe here in this time, held fast by the millennia of history resting. In the cradle of civilization, the long dusty routines of the day are over. The heat of the sun will not touch you again till the stars have shifted far across the sky. Let your mind drift downriver, now following this slow, predictable current past the fields of tall barley stalks, past the sleepy villages along the bank. The river knows no haste, it simply flows steady and ceaseless. You flow with it now in your stillness, carried by the gentle rhythm of the night. You're connected to this vast history. Millions of people who slept before you on these very same plains under these very same ancient stars. They too knew the weight of the harvest, the relentless heat of the summer sun, satisfaction of simple hard work, and the absolute necessity of deep rest. The reward for tedious duty is profound sleep. You yield the gravity holding you down, pressing you softly against the mat, every muscle in your body softening, releasing its hold on the day's effort shoulders, relaxing forehead, smoothing jaw. More holding, no more striving, just the slow, steady peace of the cool, dark night, the rhythmic intake and outtake of breath, your own quiet ancient lullaby. A sound older than the great city itself, the sound of human existence resting. Let the coolness penetrating the deepest parts of your tired body is a heavy, comforting pressure, washing away the last traces of wakefulness, drawing you deeper into the quiet core of Mesopotamian slumber. The hours pass unnoticed now, marked only by the movement of the shadows. The moon climbs high and begins its descent. Everything is slow. Everything is predictable. This piece is absolute. It is complete there. Is nothing left to do now, deep into the slow sleep under the silent watch of the ziggurat among the sleeping citizens of Ur. The tedious routine rests. Now it waits patiently for the rising sun. Until then there's only stillness. There is only the cool, dark, quiet sleep. Now sleep. Deeply in ancient Sumer, we reflect now on the great quiet, the deep quiet of the Sumerian world, a world without engines, a world without motors, a world without the humming of electric current flowing. Imagine the air itself, heavy and slow and still unburdened. By the roar of distance traveled fast, we settle back further into this ancient stillness, this profound vacuum of modern noise. Listen closely to what is not there. No distant siren wailing, no metal screeching high, no constant traffic. Flow a river of rushing metal in ancient Uruk-in the city of the silence was structural. It was built into the day. The daily routine was slow, and slow sound travels less. Work was repetitive, and repetitive sound is soothing. The silence of Sumer was not an empty silence. It was a silence filled with organic, natural sound, the sound of human breath, the rustle of the reed mat, the gentle sweep of the broom across the packed earth floor. The quiet was the background, a deep, resonant hum against which all life played its slow and simple tune. Think of the morning light spreading slowly across the roof, and the first sounds stirring not loud, abrupt noises, but the soft lowing of a cow held close in a courtyard pen. The cluck of chickens nearby scrabbling for scattered grain. The whisper of sandals on the dusty, narrow alleyway. The low mumble of the baker tending the heavy clay oven. These sounds were close. They were immediate and real. They did not travel farther. Thick mud brick walls absorbed and dampened them. Mud brick is a silent material. It insulates the warmth and it traps the vibrations, holding the sound inside. So when the door was closed, a heavy wooden plank, the home became a tomb of quiet personal space. A quiet measured by time, not by decibel levels. The hours passed. Quietly, the long, slow, quiet hours. Listen to the grinding. The endless rhythmic grinding of the grain for the daily bread. Soft, abrasive hushe. Sound of necessary labor. The woman kneeling, low pushing the stone, steadily back and forth, back and forth. Hypnotic sound, Luke, the oldest sound of civilization. It is not a disturbing noise. It is the sound of provision, the sound of sustenance achieved. Quiet assurance of survival. The silence returns quickly when the labor pauses briefly, just the sound of breathing slow and the small sigh of effort, the silence of the afternoon, when the sun sits highest and the heat forces stillness, a universal rest period. Everyone rests, everyone pauses, the city seems to hold its breath. The dusty air hangs motionless. Profound quiet descends, only the distant buzzing of large, slow insects. Maybe with a faint, persistent drone of the irrigation channel flowing water running slowly through the deep-cut canals, a gentle murmur of lifeblood moving across the thirsty plain. It is a monotonous sound, continuous washing sound, the sound that washes away the worries of the busy world. We let this watery sound flow into our minds, now washing away all tension, leaving only the calm, smooth surface. Imagine the sound of the market. Yes. The market was noisy, but even the market noise was human scale noise. No loudspeakers amplified, no engines revving loud, just the pitch of the human voice raised slightly in transaction. The haggling was intense. Selling was persuasive, but the sound faded quickly once you left the square. The noise belonged to the moment. It did not linger or echo. It did not pollute the darkness. It settled quickly with the dust. Think of the sound of speech formal and respectful, the language of Sumer spoken deliberately. Slowly, not rushed, chaotic words, but measured phrases shared to convey precision of thought, to honor the weight of the law. The scribes worked in silence, Serious, important, quiet. Only the scratch of the stylus against the soft, wet clay. A gentle, repetitive scratch like a small insect moving across a dry, softly writing the history of the world. The clay tablet absorbed the sound. The silence protected the words. The importance of the record demanded deep concentration. We sink deeper into this quiet, this deep well of ancient sound where the human voice mattered because it was not competing. It was not fighting for space against 1,000 manufactured sounds. It was simply the voice existing in the open air. Now feel the approach of evening, the most profound. Quiet arrives, the sun dipping low to the horizon, the heat slowly releasing its grip. The sounds of dinner preparation, the soft bubbling of the stew pot, the crackle of the small fire, the quiet chewing of the meal. Families gathered close, speaking hushed tones now of the day's tasks winding down, the body craving rest. And then the deep silence of Neve silence we rarely experience in our modern lit-up world. True, profound, black quiet. No light pollution here, only the vastness of the stars and no sound. Pollution, either only the vastness of the wind blowing over the desert, carrying the sound of nothing to say. Dry, warm, gentle sigh across. The silent ziggurat tower, the city sleeps deeply. A thousand people resting, their dreams undisturbed by mechanical intrusions. The only sound is the sentinel walking slowly on the city walls, his sandals whispering softer rhythm of security. Or perhaps the howl of a dog, distant, lonely, mournfully natural sound that blends into the sleeping landscape. This ancient quiet is a heavy presence. It settles upon the rooftops. It presses down on the temples. It teaches patience. It enforces slowness because in that quiet, every small sound is magnified. The drip of water, somewhere the shift of a heavy beam, the scuttling of a small mouse, each sound clear and distinct, but these sounds are brief, they do not persist, they disappear back quickly into the welcoming quiet. We are listening for the silence, not for the sounds themselves, the negative space of history, the absence. That defines the age. Imagine lying on a rooftop, looking up into the darkness feeling. The thick air, close smelling the dry earth and smoke, and hearing nothing but your heart, a slow, steady, ancient drum beating. The rhythm of time just as it beat for the Sumerian citizen. No distant highway thrumming, no faint vibration of electricity, just the internal beat of life against the backdrop of infinity. The deep silence allows us to truly hear our own being to recognize the simplicity of existence unadorned. We feel the texture of the quiet is dusty and warm and vast. It extends out in all directions across the flat alluvial plain. The Tigris and Euphrates flow there. Waters moving slowly, a deep, consistent rushing sound far away on the edges of the city. A sound that is constant, the heartbeat of the land. Itself moving, water moving life, but always at a measured pace. Nothing is rushed here. Nothing is frantic or stressed. The universe operates slowly, and Sumer conforms to that speed, the speed of the ox. Pulling the plow, the speed of the clay drying hard. Speed of the seasons turning slow, steady, predictable, and the sounds reflect that pace low. Frequency, low energy sounds, sounds that encourage rest, sounds that invite deep sleep. We let the quiet envelop us like a heavy blanket woven from the darkness of the night sky and the silence of the dry desert. The silence enters the ear, it moves through the body, slow releasing. The tension held tight in the muscles and the mind feel the quiet settling around. The forehead now smoothing out the creases, easing the tightness behind the eyes. The profound quiet of Sumer gift across the millennia. Reminder of how the world sounds when humanity is small, when human tools are simple, when fire is the brightest. Light and the moon is the loudest clock governing the rise and fall of tides. We rest in this immense quiet protected by the thick mud walls supported by the solid earth beneath the floor of the bedroom. The Sumerian family sleeps now, the merchant, the farmer, the scribe, all held within this great hush waiting for the sun's return. But for now, there is only quiet, only the deep, restful silence, the absence of distraction, the perfect environment for sleep. Drifting further away now into the rhythm of the quiet, the repetitive nature of stillness, the comforting weight of the darkness. Let the ancient silence be your companion tonight, a silent guardian watching over your deep and peaceful rest. We listen for the sounds, the tiny human sounds that break the monotony softly and then fade back into the calm. The creak of the door frame, the gentle sigh of the sleeper, the soft settling of the roof. As it cools in the night air, each sound is acknowledged, then released immediately. It does not hold your attention. It simply passes through like the shadows of the moon moving slowly across the floor. They touch the space briefly and then they are gone once more. We breathe in the quiet. We breathe out the noise exchanging the modern rush for the ancient slow peace there. Is no rush here, there's only slowness, the comfortable, enduring slowness of the history of civilization. The quiet is deep now, deeper than before. It holds you securely in its massive stillness. The city of war sleeps, the ziggurats silente. To the vastness of time and of silence, the stars above are bright, silent witnesses to the ages. Their light traveling millions of years to reach this quiet world. We focus only on the quiet, the absence of disruptive energy, the soothing background hum of a world moving, naturally resting, deeply now, protected by the silence, embraced by the darkness, drifting far, far away. Further into the quiet, further into the slow rhythm, the rhythm of the earth, the rhythm of the heart. The quiet is absolute, the rest is assured. Sleep now in the silence of Sumer. Let the ancient calm settle fully upon you, sinking you down, deep, deep down into soft, restful sleep. The great quiet continues. The great quiet endures a perfect space for rest, perfect moment for peace. Sleep now, sleep deeply now in the Sumerian night. The history slips away now like sand through your fingers. The knowledge of Sumerian life fades gently. The names of kings become whispers. Ur-Nammu fades into the distance. Gilgamesh settles into myth. The weight of the clay tablet is gone, replaced by the weight of your eyelids. A comfortable, peaceful heaviness settling over your vision. Your eyes feel thick now, like small curtains woven from the darkest night. They are resting, deeply resting, profoundly. Each moment of stillness is a step deeper, hardly a blink at all. Now more of a prolonged, gentle closing. The world outside is receding quickly. Faint sounds of the Sumerian city. The imagined distant lowing of cattle near the city walls. The soft rhythmic grinding of grain stones at dusk. All these sounds are wrapped in thick, heavy velvet. They cannot bother you now. They are merely echoes in a vast, empty hall. And you're standing comfortably in the center and moved and perfectly peaceful. Let your head sink further into the pillow. Imagine the pillow is soft as silt left behind by the great river. The Euphrates is flowing smoothly beneath you, carrying you. Breathe in, slow and steady breathe. Out slowly, everything that remains, let the chest rise gently. Fall completely, perfectly rise. Gently fall completely. Your arms are heavy along your sides, like thick ropes left coiled after the day's work. The muscles are unclenching. The ancient tensions are melting away like river ice under the high Mesopotamian sun. Feel the warmth generating inside your body. Pleasant, deep, tingling sensation moving slowly from your fingertips up your forearms into your elbows, settling everything. Everything feels warm and deeply relaxed. Now this warmth spreads like thick golden honey, moving slowly, smoothly through your veins. It settles in your shoulders, letting them slump perfectly deeply. No need to hold them up anymore. Ever they are fully supported by the earth below, supporting all things. The ziggurat stands tall, but you are low. You are grounded deeply. You are resting deeply in the foundation of this ancient sleepy narrative. Every thought that attempts to enter your mind is met with a silent, friendly refusal. Not now, sleep is here, not only. Peace remains, only deep, quiet peace. Your legs are becoming incredibly heavy, like 2 large columns of solid basalt stone used to mark the laws of the land in stone, but you do not bear any weight. They're just wonderfully heavy, and still, your feet are resting. No more walking the dusty Sumerian paths, and no more carrying the heavy burden of the harvest. They are sinking into the mattress, sinking further and further. Imagine the thick, strong mud brick walls of a sleeping house. They keep the blinding heat out, and they keep your quiet peace inside. You are safe within these imaginary walls, the walls of your own. Peaceful, rest safe and secure. Feel the deep pull downwards. The gravity of the earth is inviting you to rest completely, perfectly, to stop struggling against the current. The current of sleep is too strong now, and too comforting to fight against. Let yourself drift completely, fully. Do not hold on to the last tiny threads of awareness. Just let them slip away naturally, easily, like thin reeds floating down the mighty river. Heavy, deep, relaxed. Still, your breathing is slowing further longer. Pauses between each cycle aid gentle, steady rhythm, now like the slow, distant tapping of a thoughtful weaver. Very slow, careful, rhythmic tapping in the distance. Let the jaw hang slightly open. Release any tightness you might be holding in your cheeks or your temples. The face is smooth and soft, like well-polished, smooth, lapis lazuli stone. The world is blurring completely. Now colors are fading into a uniform dark gray, peaceful, soft dark gray. Color of wet clay waiting only to be formed. You are not required to form anything. You are only required to rest, to let the transformation into sleep happen effortlessly. Naturally and beautifully, the weight increases steadily. Not an uncomfortable weight at all, but a weight of profound, perfect stillness, like a great stone statue standing eternal that has stood guarding the entrance to time for thousands of years. You're completely still now, utterly still. Every muscle fiber is slack. Every single nerve ending is completely calm and quiet. And peaceful, deeper and deeper you go now into the soft, rich earth of your rest. You are moving past the early phases of sleep. The light sleep is already gone entirely. You're traveling towards the quiet center. The very core, the Sumerian night is completely quiet. Only the slow, gentle flow of the great river remains, a sound that ensures movement forever, but a movement that requires nothing from you, nothing at all. Sink into the quietness, sink into the darkness, sink into the deep, perfect silence. There is nothing left to remember. There is nothing left to plan. There's only the present moment of absolute rest. This moment is yours completely, fully, perfectly. Let the eyes stay closed firmly. They are sealed now by fatigue, sealed by comfort, sealed by profound, sleepy satisfaction. Your limbs feel wonderfully weighted down, anchored to the bed. Heavy and warm and safe. Heavy and warm and safe. Always safe. This feeling expands, slowly filling the edges of your mind, completely pushing out all wakefulness. All remaining worries. You are safe here in the shadow of the forgotten ziggurat tower, safe in the warmth of the mud brick home, safe in the endless flow of time and the river. Deep sleep is calling you forward now, a gentle, quiet, silent, steady invitation, and you are accepting it fully, perfectly. Drift. Now rest. Now sleep. Now deep, quiet rest. Imagine the warmth surrounding you entirely. Sun-baked clay of Mesopotamia holds heat, and you are encased in that gentle historical warmth. A heavy deep comfort. Feel the smoothness of the imagined linens, woven from reeds or simple flax. They drape over you, heavily adding to the pleasant weight. This heaviness is your shield. This heaviness is your peace. Nothing can penetrate this protective layer. Sleep, you are utterly protected. Your mind is slowing to a crawl. Thoughts are moving like heavy carts stuck in thick, wet clay. They cannot travel far. They stop completely. They cease to move. Only the rhythm remains. Inhale, exhale, release, rest, the river. Sound is getting muffled, now fading into the backdrop of silence. The last noise to leave your consciousness, a final gentle lullaby from the ancient world. Let the silence become complete, a silence so profound that your mind finds relief in its presence. It does not need to process anything else. Sleep takes hold completely. It wraps around you like a thick woolen cloak provided by the great Sumerian weavers, woven for perfect deep rest. You are moving past the surface world, past the temples, past the scribes, past the bustling marketplace into a world only of sensation and dark peace. The air is still, the air is cool, the air is restful. Breathe in that stillness. Breathe out the final resistance. No. Resistance is necessary. You have arrived at sleep's destination. Your body feels heavier than ever, the deepest, most comfortable way, a monumental way. You are an unmoving statue of peace. Let your tongue rest, let your throat soften, let the back of your neck release its final hold. Everything is melting downwards, sinking. Sinking, sinking. This is the reward for the long, tedious Sumerian day, the perfect, endless rest of the Sumerian night safe within the mud brick walls, protected by the shadow of the tall ziggurat. Rest deeply now, completely, fully, peacefully you are drifting. Farther away from wakefulness, the shore of consciousness is far behind you now. You're in a deep, open current of sleep. Safe, powerful current. Let the current guide you. Do not steer. Do not worry. Just allow the movement, the gentle movement. Every part of you is resting from your toes to the crown of your head. A complete and total surrender to the peace. Welcome, surrender. The history is finished for now. The daily routines are over for tonight. There is only the quiet certainty of deep rest waiting. Patiently for you, accept the darkness, accept the peace, accept the quiet is your time to sleep it. Is your time to heal, heavy, quiet, safe sleeping. The journey through the ancient world ends here. The journey into deep sleep begins now, a seamless transition. From time to timelessness, sink deep rest. Well sleep long, heavy eyelids sealed, shut and moving body, completely relaxed, peaceful mind, completely silent. You are sleeping now deeply, deeply, peacefully. Sleep now, rest, rest. We leave the city of your now the last. Torch has been extinguished. The great reed marsh is silent. A deep quiet falls over the wide plains. Mesopotamia sleeps, and you are sinking into sleep. A perfect, peaceful, ancient slumber. Let the weight of the day drift away like dust. Over the Euphrates, it settles and is still, you are settling and are still feel the perfect stillness in your feet and in your ankles. The bones are heavy. The muscles are loose. A wave of slow relaxation is moving up your legs, slowly, slowly moving. Upward, bringing rest, bringing deep, heavy rest. Your knees are soft. Your thighs are relaxed. The hips are sinking deep into the surface beneath you. You are so heavy, wonderfully heavy, safe, and comfortable in this deep, deep quiet. The scribes put away their stylus. The farmers have left their fields. The clay tablet is blank now. Your mind is becoming blank. Wash away every symbol. Wash away every thought. Let go of every concern. They fade into the black sky above the great ziggurat. Fading, fading, fading away. Only quiet remains. Only deep, ancient quiet. The breath is slow in and out. A gentle, steady rhythm in and out, matching the slow flow of the river, the eternal river, the ancient river. The sound is far away now, just a low hum, a sound of deep comfort. Feel your shoulders drop down, heavy and relaxed, loose and heavy. All the tension is gone, vanished entirely. Your hands are resting, your fingers are still. You have no need to grip anything. You have no need to hold on. Just let go entirely. Let the sleep take hold. It is pulling you gently, gently deeper into rest. Deeper, sinking, sinking, sinking. So far down into the soft earth, the earth of Sumeria, the earth of ancient peace. Sleep deeply now. Sleep very deeply now. We're far from the market chatter, far from the busy palace, far from the noise of the day. Only perfect silence surrounds you. A deep velvet silence, warm and comforting. Let your head rest completely. Your neck is loose. Your jaw is slack. Your eyelids are so heavy, heavy, heavy. They want only to stay closed, welcoming the profound dark. The dark of deep rest, profound deep rest. You are drifting, gently drifting on a wide, slow current, the current of deep relaxation. It carries you without effort, no effort needed now. Just floating, floating softly downward, toward perfect sleep, toward ultimate stillness, stillness, stillness. Every breath is peace, every exhale is deeper, calm. Inhale the comfort, exhale. The worry, it is all disappearing now, all gone away. You are safe here in the deep, long history, protected by the quiet age of the Mesopotamian night. The moon shines down. A distant silver eye watching over your deep slumber. A quiet, gentle watch. Sleep, sleeps. Deep, deep sleep. Your body feels heavier. With every slow breath, heavier and heavier. Sinking, sinking, sinking. Down, down, down. Resting completely. Resting perfectly. There's no time here. No measurements of barley or grain. Only the endless flow of quiet, the endless flow of rest. Let the feeling of sleep spread slowly through your chest, through your belly, relaxing all the organs, softening. Everything within a feeling of complete surrender. You surrender to the deep dark. You surrender to the quiet calm. It feels so good to let go. So wonderful to release everything. Everything falls away into the soft distance. The distance of deep sleep. Sleep deeply now, sleep well. You are moving beyond the city walls, beyond the riverbanks, into a space of perfect stillness. A space where only peace resides, perfect and pure. Resting, resting, resting. The great river flows onward, but you are still perfectly still and motionless. The stillness is entering your heart, calming the rhythm, slowing the beat. A very slow, very gentle beat. Deep rest is here. Profound rest is here. Allow yourself to drift without thought, without direction, just floating effortlessly down, 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 deeper into the cushions, deeper into the silence, deeper into the soft dark, the deep soft dark of night. Let the ancient dust settle. The dust of 1,000 years settles around you in silence. A protective, quiet layer holding you in deep sleep. Sleep deeply, sleep completely. No more need to read the cuneiform signs. And no more need to manage the storehouses. Your labor is over. Your duty is done. Now, there is only rest, only absolute rest. Feel the warmth of the night, a gentle, comforting warmth wrapping around you like a soft blanket, heavy and secure, safe and sound. Sleep deeply now. Sleep very deeply. We drift further away from the city. The sound of the temple drums is only a distant memory, a tiny, tiny whisper fading quickly, quickly, quickly into the complete silence. Rest now, rest perfectly. Now your mind is clearing, becoming crystal clear and still like a still pool of water, reflecting only the quiet moon. No ripples, no movement, just smooth, perfect stillness. You're sleeping deeply, so deeply now. The weight is overwhelming, a beautiful, peaceful weight holding you down, anchoring you to the earth, anchoring you to sleep, sleep, sleep. Let the final images of Sumer drift gently away, the towering walls of Uruk, the slow boats on the Euphrates, their fading memories soft and indistinct, giving way to pure rest, pure quiet rest. Your breathing continues slow and deep, a perfect rhythm guiding you ever deeper, deeper into profound rest, the very deepest rest. You deserve this quiet. You deserve this stillness. Allow the calm to flood your body from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head, complete saturation in calm, complete and total peace. Sleep. Now sleep. Well, the ancient world holds you safe in its deep, timeless, quiet, timeless rest. Resting, 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 sinking gently further down, further and further past the edges of wakefulness into the deep center of sleep, a heavy dreamless sleep that restores and renews. You're letting go, entirely letting go every anchor, floating freely into the dark, the soft, nourishing dark. The perfect peace is yours. The profound silence is yours. Sleep now, sleep deeply. May your slumber be long and healing. May your rest be undisturbed. You are safe and still heavy and warm, breathing, slowly resting completely. The clay is dry. The night is quiet. The history is finished. For now, only your deep sleep remains. Deep, deep sleep. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Rest, peaceful, profound sleep, sinking down now, sinking into the quiet, letting go completely. Good night from ancient Mesopotamia. Good night. Sleep now. Sleep well. Rest deeply. Heavy, sinking down. Rest now. Sleep now. Very deep rest. Deep, profound sleep. Sleep now. Sleep now. Rest. Sinking. Deep. Peace is here. Quiet is here. Rest completely. Sleep now. Good night. Rest well. Rest long. Sleep. Heavy and warm and heavy rest. Perfect peace. Perfect calm. Sinking away into the depths of rest. The deepest rest. Sleep now. Sleep deeply. Good night. Rest well. Heavy, deep, quiet, calm. Sleep now. Sleep, rest, peace, calm, sinking down, deep. Sleep now. Rest completely. Sumer sleeps. You sleep deep. Rest, quiet, silence. Good night. Sleep, rest, heavy, warm, still. Sleep now. Rest now. Deep sleep, profound rest. Sinking down. Sleep. Rest. Good night. Well, sleep well. Deep sleep. Resting now. Resting complete. Resting deeply. Sleep. Quiet. Peace. Heavy now. Very heavy. Sinking away. Sleep now. Rest now. Good night. Sleep. Deep. Rest. Sinking heavy. Sleep. Quiet now. Peaceful rest. Sleep now. Sleep. Good night. Sleep well. Deep sleep resting. Deeply resting. Deeply sleep now. Sinking down. Quiet, calm. Sleep. Rest. Good night. Sleep now. Heavy. Sinking down. Resting entirely. Sleep, quiet, peace, deep rest. Profound rest. Sleep now. Good night. Rest well. Deep sleep now. Sleep now. Rest. Sinking. Heavy, quiet. Sleep. Good night. Deep rest. Now. Sleep now. Rest, peace. Sinking away. Sink deeply. Sleep deeply. Good night. Rest now. Quiet slumber. Sleep. Deep. Heavy. Rest. Sleep now. Good night. Sleep well. Rest deeply. Sinking slowly. Sinking slowly down. Sleep. Quiet. Peace. Rest now. Now. Good night. Sleep now. Deep, heavy. Sinking away. Sleep. Rest. Good night. Sleep now. Deep rest. Quiet, calm. Sleep. Hey, heavy. Rest now. Good night. Sleep well. Deep sleep. Sinking down. Sleep. Rest. Quiet. Good night. Good night. Sleep now. Sleep now. Sleep now. Rest deeply. Rest deeply. Rest deeply. Heavy, heavy, heavy sleep, sleep. Quiet, calm, peace. Good night. Good night. Sleep now. Sleep now. Sleep now. Rest, rest. Deep, 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 heavy, heavy, heavy. Sleep, sleep. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Sleep, sleep. Sleep. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Rest now. Rest now. Rest now. Deep sleep. Deep sleep, deep. Deep sleep, deep. Sinking away. Sinking away. Sinking away. Sleep now. Sleep now. Sleep now. Quiet, quiet. Quiet. Peace, peace, peace. Rest, rest, rest. Good night. Good night. Good night. Well, deep, 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 deep now. Sleep. Now, sleep now. Rest, rest, rest. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Sinking down, sinking down. Sleep, sleep. Sleep. Good night, good night. Rest now. Rest now. Rest now. Sleep deep. Sleep. Sleep. Quiet. Peace, rest, sleep now. Sleep now. Good night.